Also, my hair is a little damp. I just took a shower like right before this, so it's still drying a bit. Anyway, hey Henry. So, Smash Brothers. We got the new Nintendo Direct. It said they're going to be announcing Smash. I thought before that we would talk about who we might think could be the new character. So, I've got a few ideas about who it could be. Whoa, wait, is my latency that low? Huh, oh well. Or that high, I mean. Wow, okay, so there is a big delay in how long it's taken. That's okay, it's fine. It's fine. Oh well. So I'm going to pull up the stream real quick, and then I'll just get everything else ready to go. There are a lot of characters who I think... Okay, one thing I think we might see is... You know how they've announced that there's going to be another fighter pass with more fighters? I think we're going to be seeing... one of those today. That could be a possibility. We might see the first one of those. I'm not guaranteeing that, obviously. I just think that there is a possibility that we could see a second fighter today, in addition to the fifth one. As for who those are going to be, I have a couple of theories. The first one is, and let me pull those up. Hold on, let me get the... No, I'll do that in a minute. So the first one I think that we might see is, let's see if I can just drag and drop an image. I think one distinct possibility is that we are going to see... Oh, it didn't work. Oh no. Do I have to save it to my desktop first? I might have to. Okay, let's do that real quick then. No, hold on, I can fix this. So anyway, the first character, I think, Gino. Okay. I'm not going to rule Gino out as a possibility for the second character. However, the first character I think is going to fit in with the sort of theme that they've been doing, where every character has been a character that is not from a series that has not been represented in Smash before. And I think that's what they're going to continue with this last one. Once we get into the next Fighter Pass, I think all bets are off at that point. So that could be, I think if there's going to be Gino, I think it's going to be in the second pass. One character I think is possible that I've been hearing a lot of people say is possible is, can we get him on the screen? Please. Nope. Okay. Crash Bandicoot. That's what I'm trying to say. I had an image that I was going to pull up. Oh, wait. It might not be the right file type. So, never mind. Anyway. I think we're going to possibly see Crash. Let me try this one. Nope. Shadow, I guess possibly Shadow. I mean, like I said, at this point, I really cannot tell you that a character will or will not be in Smash. We still got 15 minutes. That's good. Here, let me try this one. There we go. So there's the character I think is most likely. Well, one character I think is likely. Another one is... In case you guys don't know, a while back there was a poll done in America, Europe, and Japan. And in all three of those, one of the top two, and I think in two of them it was the top, it was the number one character, and in one of the three, and I think in Japan it might have been the number two character, was Sora from Kingdom Hearts. So that is a character that's like huge. A lot of people want him in Smash. I would love to see Sora in Smash personally. I don't think it's as likely as Crash. I'm going to put him like a little below Crash. I don't think that that's as likely. I remember like it became such a big deal that Disney themselves said they said that it was a while back. They said that it was not currently in the works, but they basically said that they weren't opposed to the idea. So if Nintendo approached them and Square Enix was all right with it too, then they would maybe do it. So that's a possibility. We could see Sora. I don't, like I said, that was pretty recent, like a couple of months ago. So I don't think that it's going to be this one, but I'm just saying that the possibility is. A character, so if they release, or if they announce the first character from the second pass today, I think I know exactly who it's going to, one of the characters from the pass is. I'm like over 50% sure one of the characters that we are going to see is going to be, hold on here, is going to be Byleth from Fire Emblem. That's a character I think we're going to see for a couple of reasons. First of all, pretty much every the main character of every recent Fire Emblem game has been put into Smash. They put Robin into Smash and Corrin. I know that there is the complaint that there's too many sword fighter characters and there's too many Fire Emblem characters. However, I think that Corrin could potentially work different enough to be interesting. Because if you remember, they have the sword that, like, it's like a whip almost. So it'd be like a sword, but it can basically turn into a whip. And I think they could be like different, kind of like in the same way that Robin was more different than the other Fire Emblem characters. And I think that they're going to do that because when they released Demon X Machina and they released Pokemon Sword and Shield, for both of those games, they released new spirits onto the spirit board for it. And they did not when Fire Emblem came out. And I'm wondering, it's possible that they just didn't. But on the other hand, I'm wondering if they were saving them for when they release Byleth as a character. So I think there is a very, very real possibility that we're going to see Byleth at some point. Which I think would be pretty neat because I like his... I like when you play as them, they have like they are a teacher, so I think it'd be funny to have all of their taunts be like, learn your lesson or something. I think that'd be funny. A character I think would be awesome in Smash, but I do not for the life of me think that we will see in Smash. I'd love to see him in Smash, but it would not be, I don't think it's going to happen. Hold on here. Hold on here. I have to save the image before I can put it on my stream. Phoenix Wright. I'd love to see Phoenix Wright. I think it'd be hilarious to see Phoenix in Smash. I know he was in like one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it'd be kind of hilarious if he did, and they actually made him good this time around. I don't know what the heck a lawyer would do in a fighting game, but there you go. Do we have any other possibilities? I mean, I don't know how likely, like Spyro would be as a character, but hold on here. Spyro, I guess, could be a possibility. I would put him, I don't know, I think Crash is more likely. I keep moving that. No! No, stop it. What are you doing? I'm not even trying to click you. There we go. I think Spyro's a possibility, but not as high of a possibility as Crash. And maybe not even as high as Byleth. I think that there's a very distinct chance we'll see Sora, but I don't think we're going to see Sora today. And then Phoenix Wright's just not going to happen, but I think it'd be awesome, and I love the Phoenix Wright games, so seeing like some representation from that series would be awesome. Taunt objection. Yes, that would definitely... No, that would be the final smash, or like one of the moves. The final smash would be him bringing in like Maya and Edgeworth and stuff. I don't know. What other characters do we think are possible? How hard... Oh, you're fighting Sans, that's right. I guess if we want to talk about Geno, since we were talking about Geno... Let me pull up an image of Geno real quick. I think Geno is... The issue I have with Geno is that he's already in the game as a spirit. And that doesn't really mean anything. But I just don't see... I guess it's possible. I don't see him being with this fighter pass. I don't think he's going to be the final character. I could be wrong. But like I said, every character in this fighter pass thus far, Joker, the hero, Banjo and Kazooie, and Terry, have all been from series that were not in Smash up to this point. So I think they're going to continue that with the last one. It's going to be somebody from a new series that's never been in Smash. So that's never been in Smash as a fighter, an assist, as a spirit, nothing like that. So if it's in Smash, I think it's out for the last character. Once they start the new pass, there is the definite possibility Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant's already in. But but Piranha Plant wasn't part of the fighter pass, though. He was a separate DLC. I think once we get into the new fighter pass, it's going to be all bets will be off at that point. It could be anyone. It could be somebody brand new. It could be somebody from a series that we've wanted. You know? So I don't know what other characters have people wanted in Smash for a long time. Oh, you know one character I don't think he's going to make it into Smash, but I think he would play really cool. It would be really cool as a fighter if he was in. Would be Neku from The World Ends With You. I don't think he's going to make it in. I'd put him like barely above Phoenix. I don't think he's going to make it in, but I think if he did, he would be a really interesting fighter in how he would work. Because if you played the game he's from, he can do... There's not really any set thing he can do. He fights with psychic powers, and those can be just about anything in the game. So he could shoot fire, or he could move objects, or he could use like air as a sword almost. And so that opens up a lot of possibilities if he were to be made into a fighter. So from a gameplay standpoint, Neku would be... I would say if I was picking a character solely on how they would play in the game, I would pick Neku hands down for my dream character. Because he would function potentially like Ness, but maybe a less weird Ness, you know how I'm saying? Like he'd be a little more run-of-the-mill maybe, but he'd still be kind of Ness-ish, like Ness and Lucas. I just think that there's a lot of possibility for how that guy could work. And I mean, you could even... Heck, he could even have like a second person running around with him, almost like an assist maybe, but maybe the assist isn't very strong. There'd be something to balance that out, since if you know in the game there's always a second person. So, I don't know. It's a possibility. It's not really, but let me see here. What other characters would be good? What games have been happening recently? I'm actually looking at my shelf at my Switch games, trying to figure out who would be a character we could possibly see. Taboo as a fighter? You know, that would be interesting. I don't know what the chances of them adding in a character that's from Smash Brothers as a character. I know how weird that sounds, but that could be interesting. I don't know. I don't think, like I said, obviously that's not going to be the fifth character in this pass. But once we get into the new pass, that's a possibility. That's an interesting one. Let me look that up. Let me put that one onto the list. Let me get a picture of him up. Actually, wasn't Neku like on the list? I'm gonna put him maybe on par with Geno. I don't know. In all, like, it's hard to tell the actual odds. You can't really. I don't really know what they're thinking and what their ideas are. I think it'd be interesting if we saw maybe another Final Fantasy character. Like, obviously that would not be the next one, but if we saw like maybe another character from Final Fantasy VII, like Sephiroth. Gaster? Once again, yeah, it's soccer. I know odds we can never know. That is correct. We cannot predict it. I remember, like, when they said, trust me, I don't think we're going to see Sephiroth, personally. I'll put that, like, below Gino. But I think there's just no obvious... Honestly, there's just no telling overall. It could be anyone. I'd love to see, like, a character from another Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy IX. That's my personal favorite. We got about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to get rid of all this. Yeah, because when they announced Joker, who was ever going to expect Joker? Who said, oh, the first character in the Fighter Pass is going to be Joker? Oh! Steve from Minecraft is one that I've been hearing a lot. That's actually... I wouldn't rule that out, actually, to see, like, Minecraft. Not guaranteeing it, but the possibility does exist. So, one can never know with Sakurai. He is truly a mystery. Let me... We got about... Oh, we have only got a few minutes left. I got to pull this up. Hold on. Display capture. There we go. And I got to get my headphones on, too. So, hold on a minute. Let me get the desktop audio on. All right. Yes, we didn't see it coming. You are correct. Who could have seen that coming? And I mean, Banjo and Kazooie... I think some people... I mean, we kind of saw Banjo and Kazooie coming. But at the same time, it was just so perfectly fitting for him to be in Smash. You know what I'm saying? Might make that a little... Alright. I don't think we're... I think if we see another Undertale character, I think it would be Frisk. And not Gaster. Alright, let me just make sure headphones are on. Yes, alright. We got 4 minutes. Only Sakurai with the special eyes. I wonder... I don't know. I think... I said this earlier. I have two possibilities. You can't see my hand. Two possible things that we could see. Oh, that's interesting. Why is he holding up 3 fingers? Even Banjo seemed to pipe dream. That's true. That is very true. Why is he holding up 3 fingers? Is that a hint, or is that just like a thing? I don't know. Guys, everybody, let's analyze his hand. Why is he holding 3 fingers? Is that important? I think we might see I wonder if we're going to see the first fighter is going to be releasing very soon, I think. Not necessarily today, but I think it's going to be soon. And the other one, I think we might get to see today. We might get to see 2 characters. Maybe. I do think that they're going to talk about the past today. The second one. And maybe they'll show how many characters are going to be in it. Whether it's maybe 3 characters or 5 again, I don't know. So we will see. Maybe they're revealing 3 characters, but I doubt that. I'm wondering if that's a hint. I'm trying to think. So maybe Super Mario Brothers 3 or The Legend of Zelda 3, which would be Link's Awakening. I don't think... I'd say Final Fantasy 3, but that's almost certainly not it, because 3 is not the most well-known Final Fantasy. I like 3, but it's not the most well-known one. 3. I don't know. It is going to start any second now. Oh, here we go. Y'all can hear it, right? Okay.
Hello everyone.
Let's find out.
I'm Masahiro Sakura, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
All right. Show us.
We'll be using today's showcase
Pre-announcement.
First look at our next DLC fighter. Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide. The
Okay.
development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy.
Really?
Which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast.
What?
So, it won't be
oh,
available
okay.
right
So it's not going to be
Please
today.
understand
Or
that it will
soon.
take a little time.
That's fine. Who's it going to
I
be?
think even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really?
Okay.
So,
Stream a bit.
let's all
Got
share
it.
in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information. However, even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings.
So I'm
Prepare
rolling
the fighter
Byleth
reveal
out,
video.
obviously. but-
Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly.
Okay.
Now, let's do this.
Who's it going to be? Here goes, guys. Wait, I recognize this music. It is Byleth! Okay. Alright, I guess I was right. I knew Byleth was going to be a character, but I didn't think it'd be this soon.
To unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharat upon our enemies!
That was incredibly soon. Unless they're tricking us. Hello, Sothis.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In
So I called it.
Our hearts
I
and
didn't think
minds
it'd be
will
this
cease
one,
to
but
be.
you know.
Are you prepared to die? I thought as much.
Interesting.
I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash. Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
And that's Morgana's voice actress, by the way. That's the same voice actress that does Morgana in Persona 5. Smash House.
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
I'm actually okay with this. I think it's going to be interesting to see how... Oh, look, there's the Red Eagles. Oh, that's a cool... You see that? He, like, That's interesting.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there?
Too many... Oh, okay.
And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Are they gonna do the... They're gonna do the thing where they, like, fuse together...
So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
No? What are they doing? Oh my god! Are they bringing all three? They are! They're bringing... Are they... No. They're just doing the weapons. Okay.
What is this?
So he's gonna use all the... Recruits Byleth. So they're gonna use the lance, an axe, and a bow as well.
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
Interesting. I wondered if that's what something they do, but I wasn't sure
Superior reach.
how they do it.
Use Amir's overwhelming power. Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught.
Alright. This is cool.
Along with the sword of the creator. Each weapon matches a direction.
Wait, the up smash is a bow? That's odd.
Your will and mine be now as one. To you, both sides of time are revealed. Through Smash, show the world.
Oop, you can't see my face from over here. Interesting. I called it. I didn't think it would be this one. I thought it would be the next one, but I called it. So I was right. And there he is putting up the poster. I called it when they didn't add any spirits.
There you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros.
So when are they releasing them?
This release is planned for January
January
28th.
28th?
You'll
So
have
that is
instant
soon.
access if you have the Super Smash Bros.
That's
Ultimate
soon.
Fighters Pass.
That's
And
only
it will
like 2
also be
weeks.
available for purchase individually.
Okay. Join
In case
Smash
you're not
already.
familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry. First off, what is Fire Emblem? It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful.
The Fire Emblem police if you write it wrong.
The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle.
So this is cool. I like this.
About
I like this
tactical
character.
games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and
I really
so
like
on.
Three Houses.
But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games. Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die.
Yep, permanent death.
That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again. Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you, but a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak.
Strategic withdrawals.
In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios. Several characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special.
So this one's not going to have a counter.
There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee,
okay.
I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series.
Jeez, I didn't realize there was that many.
People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games.
Wait, there was a
Let's try
Satellaview
saying
game
them
for
in
Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem Can You Say It Challenge. I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝、紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、烈火の剣、
Listing all the
聖な
Fire
る宝
Emblems.
石、
Sacred Stones, that was my first one.
暁の女神、
My introduction to Fire Emblem was with the Sacred
新聞
Stones.
章、覚醒イフヒーローズエコーズ風化雪月
There you go, 17.
Oh, and that's why it's holding... Oh, I get it.
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
つまり
This
Oh.
is 0. Fold this here and you
So
get 1,
I was
and
right,
then you get 2,
but...
then 2 plus 1 equals 3.
That's
so
funny.
This would be 4,
I was
5,
actually
6,
learning about
7,
binary in,
and 8.
Class
And then
recently.
you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17.
That's funny.
Awesome, isn't it?
So I was right on that too.
You can actually count up to 31 on one hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
畳の数を数える目の数を数える
If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem 3?
We're gonna have some good music to play,
In
guys.
Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu. But in English, they share the same name, Byleth.
We're gonna have some really good
Byleth
music
becomes a
going.
professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses.
I really want to see Blue Skies in
Once
the
you've
battle.
chosen a house, you guide them through their
'Cause that's
school
one of the
life,
best songs in
and,
the game.
Well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example,
Was he like? Was this planned for that long?
because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time.
No, yeah.
For that title, I borrowed an
Okay.
early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter. I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference.
I only played I played through Blue Lions and then part
The
of
game has
Black
multiple
Eagles.
routes, and the outcome of each
I need to
is
finish
very
Black
different.
Eagles.
Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand.
So this is going to be interesting.
Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November.
Wow.
Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version.
We're going to go and
As always, I'm using a special
the next
in-game
one, and it's
camera
going to be
and
just
such
like
for demonstration
1984.
purposes.
This is where it's recorded.
Here I go.
Eventually. It's going to be so far back in the past. We're going to be recording these preemptively before they were even thought of.
So, this is our new fighter, Byleth. Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's,
Okay.
but that's about all you can say for them. Throws
So
are
not a lot
not their
of
strong point either.
mobility.
Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon.
Okay.
The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics
Oh,
is a
okay,
weapon
so it's
that
not
appears
the-
in Fire Emblem
the
Three
specials.
Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air.
Okay.
For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this.
Oh, so it's like
It was
the
pretty
grappling.
terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
Yikes. So can that be used as a recovery?
you can do awful things.
Yes, you
like
can.
This.
Okay, good. So it is a recover.
That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can
They
see,
weave?
they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack.
I
This
like
also
distance
has a long
characters, so
range.
this'll be good.
It'll connect even from here. Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
Okay, so it can be angled.
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward, or downward in this case.
Let me see if I can.
Next, the side special move.
Oh, we're at 1080p. Okay. I'm not going to try to mess
Byleth
with
will
that
simply
because then
swing the
it'll
lance like
lag
this,
us.
but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
I like like it.
Actually,
I
you
like
can do a
this
smash
character.
attack to charge
I'm glad that
forward
they
a
didn't
little.
make him just like
Like this.
a traditional sword fighter. Because then one of the things about Three Houses was
But
that
as you'd
characters
expect,
could wield
you can be easily shielded, so be careful.
just about any weapon. So they could wield like a whole variety of things.
Use it in midair.
It didn't
and
really
carve
matter.
up a large area.
And I think that was a good way to
Returning
go
to
with
the
this.
side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe
Oh
and a mirror.
boy.
It's named
That's gonna
after a weapon
deal a
that
ton of
appears in
damage.
Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong.
I'm getting way too excited to whack people with an axe.
You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a
Ooh,
super
music.
armor effect, which allows you to withstand an attack.
Alright, that's cool.
Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this.
That's awesome.
It's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed.
Alright.
Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area.
I like that.
It won't
like
let
that
you
a
jump,
lot.
but you could use it as a surprise attack.
I really like that.
Also, you can turn around during the move. The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction.
I like that too.
Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group of opponents. Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little.
Excuse me.
It's
Can
as
launch
if the
opponents
quaking
even
of
if
the
you
ground launches
miss. I love the axe.
them. By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters.
Yeah.
It hits with that much power in a single attack.
Because that's just way
Counters
too easy
can
to
actually
predict.
multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter. Next, we have the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Failnaught, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It
It's
lets
almost
you
like
spin the weapon
Link or
around.
Pit, yeah. With his bow.
It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow.
Can it be aimed?
First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready.
Oh, okay.
You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed.
Okay, so you have
It's
to do
also
it longer,
very powerful.
but it's stronger.
That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield.
Oh, okay.
You can also change direction while in the stance.
That's good.
It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks
Okay.
like a beam of light. You can perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire.
That does a decent amount of damage.
But
too.
again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible. Once you've entered the stand, you won't be able to do anything. which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven.
I had a feeling Ruptured Heaven would be one of his moves.
As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together. Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female.
The house leaders.
However,
yep.
the third,
oh my
fourth,
god,
and
wow,
fifth colors
you really
are,
look
as you
like
can
him too.
see, reminiscent of the house leaders.
That's cool.
Those of you who've played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different haircut,
Oh yeah, it's
which
the,
is based on something that occurs
I
in the
spoiled
course
it
of the
earlier.
original game story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
Sorry, spoilers. Garreg Mach Monastery, that's the obvious stage.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend
I really
most
hope
of the
Blue
game.
Skies in a battle is
Garreg Mach
battle music.
Monastery.
That's what I want to see.
This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through them,